On November 8, 2016, a breaking news flash suddenly appears on TV screens, and the country's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, comes to address the nation. His few words stopped the breath of the entire country. It was announced that from 8 p.m. on the night of November 8, 2016, 500 and 1,000 rupee notes are being discontinued in India. These will remain mere pieces of paper and will not be legal tender. After this announcement, there was a commotion on India's streets, markets, and homes. But the real earthquake of this decision came not in Delhi or Mumbai, but across the border in Pakistan's Karachi city. This was such a masterstroke that overnight uprooted the roots of a large empire. And exactly 26 days after India's historic decision, a death occurs in Karachi that remains completely anonymous. This was not the death of an ordinary person. This was the death of that person who was the biggest kingpin of hawala, fake notes, and international money laundering in Pakistan. He was such a ruthless enemy who had made complete preparations to destroy India. The era of 1947, when the partition of India and Pakistan had taken place, lakhs of people were leaving their homes, their land, and their centuries-old business and crossing the newly created borders. Amidst this upheaval, a merchant family from Gujarat was also leaving everything and setting foot on Pakistan's soil. The head of that family was Abdul Sattar Khanani. Abdul Sattar belonged to the Gujarati Mehman community, a community about which it is said that business runs in their blood. These were people who were considered to be true to their word and very skilled in deals. When Sattar Khanani reached Karachi, Pakistan, the situation was worse than bad. There was no money in the pocket, no roof overhead. But he didn't want to be anyone's slave or employee, will only do his own business. He opened a small mobile currency exchange shop on the footpath in Karachi's Bolton market. People would bring foreign currency to him and he would exchange it and hand them Pakistani notes. Gradually, this became his livelihood. May 2, 1961. Twin sons were born in Sattar Khanani's house. One was named Javed and the other Altaf. When these two children grew up, they joined their father in the same business. They understood this foreign currency business so minutely that by the beginning of the 1980s, both brothers had taken their father's entire business into their own hands. During the same period, another name was rapidly emerging in Karachi's business corridors: Hanif Kalia. Hanif's work also revolved around currency, but his method was different. He did price bond trading work. At that time, there was a scheme of the Pakistan government in which people bought price bonds at fixed prices. There was no interest on this, but there was a chance to win huge prizes through lucky draw. Smart traders like Hanif would spread rumors in the market just before the lucky draw that which number bond has the highest chance of winning the prize, and that bond was with them. A 1,000 rupee bond would be bought for 1,500 rupees, and by creating artificial demand in the market, it would be auctioned at even higher prices. Hanif made considerable wealth through this cleverness. As the 90s were approaching, Pakistan's economy was opening up to the world.
Pakistani laborers were sending money back to their country in sacks. This was the time when the Khanani brothers realized that if they wanted to become big players, they would need a strong partner. Their eyes fell on Hanif Kalia and his son Uzaifa, who had both money and recognition. Altaf and Javed had a secret meeting with Uzaifa. Javed said to Uzaifa, "Uzaifa, if we unite this scattered market, then the whole of Pakistan will be in our fist." Uzaifa also agreed. Both families shook hands, and this is where the foundation was laid for Khanani and Kalia International, KKI. Initially, KKI appeared to be an ordinary foreign currency shop in Karachi's Bolton market. But Javed Khanani handled all the work inside Pakistan, while Altaf Khanani left for Dubai. Altaf placed his men in Dubai, London, New York, and Toronto. In no time, 40% of Pakistan's foreign exchange market came under the control of this one company. From the outside, this was a white-collar company, but inside, that black business of Hawala was running, which had made big politicians and officers their slaves. In Karachi, one man would give Javed a bag full of notes, and within minutes in Dubai, Altaf's man would hand over the same amount to someone else. The Memon community's principle of once given the word we won't back out had made the Khanani brothers the most trusted banker of the underworld. This had become the biggest washing machine for converting black money into white. The year 1993, Mumbai. One after another, several bomb blasts shook India's soul. The mastermind of these blasts, underworld don Dawood Ibrahim, had fled from India to Dubai and then reached Pakistan under the shelter of Pakistan's intelligence agency ISI. ISI's intention was clear: to shelter this devil here and orchestrate bloody conspiracies against India. Dawood had immense money from drugs, arms smuggling and extortion. But what use was that wealth if he couldn't get it to his henchmen? Dawood's search ended at the Khanani brothers' doorstep. In a lavish and secret bungalow in Karachi, the first meeting between Dawood and the Khanani brothers took place. Dawood said to Altaf, "I have that power which can shake governments, but I need your Hawala network to make that power flow through the veins of the entire world. In return, you will get so much wealth that you haven't even dreamed of." Altaf and Javed, whose eyes were only hunger for money, shook hands with Dawood without wasting a moment. To manage Dawood's black empire, these two brothers established a new secret organization called Khanani MLO, Money Laundering Organization. Their job was to handle Dawood's money and use it against India. Their network spread from Karachi's Sadar Bazaar to Dubai, Toronto, and East Africa. Whether it was Mexico's drug cartel money, terrorist funds coming from Gulf countries, or settling accounts of Lashkar-e-Tayyaba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, all this was happening at the signals of the Khanani brothers. Javed Khanani didn't look like a movie villain. Glasses on his eyes, calm demeanor, language like an ordinary accountant. But behind this calm face was such a ruthless mind that was laundering $14 to $16 billion annually. Whenever Pakistan's deep state and ISI,
when money was sent to terrorist networks without leaving fingerprints, it would pass through the hands of Javed and Altaf. On the instructions of Dawood Ibrahim and ISI, the Khanani brothers had waged a dangerous war against India. They had built up a vast empire of printing fake Indian currency notes, FICN. These were not ordinary fake notes. These were printed on security-grade paper with watermarks and special fibers like real notes. These super notes were so accurate that sometimes even ATM sensors would be fooled. The printing of these notes took place in secure and state-protected facilities inside Pakistan. From there, they would be pushed into India's borders through Dubai, Kathmandu, Dhaka, and Kuala Lumpur routes. The investigation agencies got a big shock when they found out about a major dispute with the British company De La Rue, the world's largest currency paper manufacturer. During an audit in India, it was found that poor quality currency paper had been supplied and there was manipulation in quality certificates. India rejected about 2,000 tons of paper and blacklisted the company. But through system corruption and middlemen, Pakistan started printing super notes exactly like Indian notes using the same machinery and specifications. By the early months of 2010, fake currency worth 1,500 to 2,000 crores of rupees was entering India every year. On one hand, terrorists were being funded with this money. The Khanani Brothers network had a direct hand in the funding of the 26/11 Mumbai attack of 2008 as well. On the other hand, with so much currency suddenly entering India's markets, inflation was touching the sky and the value of the rupee was falling. The Khanani brothers' connections had reached Mexico's ruthless Sinaloa cartel, Hezbollah, Taliban, and Al-Qaeda. Whether it was money coming from poppy cultivation in Afghanistan or funding for bloody terrorism, the Khanani brothers had become the world's biggest money launderers.
America's Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, and India's intelligence agencies now had their eyes fixed on the Khanani brothers. India was continuously giving inputs to America. Catching Altaf was not within the capacity of any one country. Intelligence agencies of America, Britain, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand together planned a highly confidential covert operation. DEA agents hid their identity and presented themselves as international drug smugglers. With fake identities and fake stories, they contacted Altaf's network. After weeks of encrypted conversations, an undercover agent said to Altaf on Skype, "Altaf bhai, we have millions of dollars of drug money lying around. We need to whiten it. Don't worry about commission. Whatever you ask, you'll get." Altaf laughed and said, "Whether the money is stained with blood or cocaine, once it comes out of the Khanani machine, it will become completely pure." Altaf had no inkling that the DEA was recording his every call, every encrypted message. For testing, undercover agents gave some money to Altaf's men in Dubai, Australia, and Canada, and as expected, that money came back completely white-ringed after deducting Altaf's commission. Now solid evidence was ready against Altaf. The DEA played its final and biggest move. They told Altaf that this time the deal is very big, so we need to meet face to face. The place was decided, Panama. September 2015. As soon as this uncrowned king of money laundering landed at Panama airport, American agencies surrounded him from all sides and arrested him. He was thrown into a Miami jail. This was a huge victory for India because the inputs given by Indian intelligence agencies played a major role behind this entire operation. America completely destroyed Khanani MLO and blacklisted his entire family. Altaf was rotting in an American jail, but Javed Khanani, sitting in Pakistan, had still printed fake Indian currency worth thousands of crores and filled his warehouses with it. This currency of Dawood and ISI was just about to enter India's borders, but this time they were facing a new India. In a highly secure room in New Delhi, an important meeting was going on late at night. Present in the room were the country's Prime Minister Modi, National Security Advisor Ajit Dhobal, and some very select intelligence officers. Ajit Dhobal said to Prime Minister Modi, "Sir, as long as these fake notes of 500 and 1000 rupees being printed in Pakistan's printing presses keep getting absorbed into India's economy, it will be impossible to end terrorism. A decision should be taken that will be recorded in the pages of history forever." On November 8, 2016, it was around 8 p.m. at night. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi appeared on television screens. Addressing the nation, he made such an announcement that shook the entire world. From 12 midnight on November 8, 2016, the currently issued 500 and 1000 rupee currency notes will not remain legal tender. This one decision may have created a stir in India, but its biggest impact was in Karachi, Pakistan. Those fake notes worth thousands of crores of rupees kept in Javed Khanani's warehouses, which took years of planning to make, turned into worthless pieces of paper in one stroke. Javed was technically bankrupt. Dawood's D Company and other terrorist organizations started putting pressure on Javed. They wanted their money back. Meanwhile, in a Miami jail, Altaf had started revealing all the dark secrets of ISI and Pakistani politicians to American agencies. Javed Khanani had now become a burden and a big threat for Pakistan's state-sponsored terror network. 26 days had passed since demonetization. Javed had become a victim of terrible depression. The date was December 4, 2016. Javed Khanani reached an under-construction building, Seema Tower, located in Karachi's Muhammad Ali Jauhar Society. This building was only built up to the 8th floor that day. Javed looked very troubled and distressed that day. He was waiting for someone on the 8th floor. Suddenly there was a loud scream and then the sound of a heavy object hitting the ground. People ran and saw a person lying on the ground covered in blood. It was Javed Khanani.
Did he commit suicide or was he thrown down from that
कंस्ट्रक्शन
8th
बिल्डिंग
floor?
साइमा
This
टावर
question
पहुंचा। ये
remains
बिल्डिंग
an
उस वक्त
unsolved
सिर्फ
mystery
8वें माले
even
तक ही
today.
बनी थी। जावेद
But
उस
the
दिन
most
बहुत
shocking
परेशान
part
और
of the
बदहवास
story
लग रहा था।
started now.
वो 8वें माले
Police
पर
arrived
किसी
at
का
the
इंतजार
scene.
कर रहा
They
था।
picked up
अचानक
the
एक
body
जोर
and
की
without
चीख
any
और फिर एक भारी
postmortem,
चीज
the
के
next
जमीन
day
पर
itself
गिरने की
called
आवाज
the
आई।
matter
लोग भागकर
suicide
पहुंचे
and
तो देखा
closed the file.
जमीन पर खून से
Javed's
लथपथ एक
family
इंसान
also
पड़ा
didn't
था।
say a
ये
word
जावेद
about this.
खनानी था।
In
क्या
April
उसने खुदकुशी की या उसे उस 8वें
America
माले से
sentenced
नीचे फेंक
Altaf
दिया
to a
गया था?
strict 68
ये सवाल
months
आज भी
and
एक अनसॉल्व्ड
imposed a
मिस्ट्री
heavy
है,
fine
लेकिन
on
कहानी
him.
का सबसे
In
चौंकाने वाला
2020,
हिस्सा तो अब शुरू
Altaf
हुआ।
was released
पुलिस
from
मौके
jail,
पर पहुंची,
but where he
लाश
is
को
today
उठाया
and in
और
what
बिना कोई
condition he
पोस्टमार्टम
is,
किए
no one
अगले ही
knows.
दिन मामले को
That
आत्महत्या
empire of
बताकर
the Khanani
फाइल बंद कर
brothers,
दी।
which for
जावेद
years
के
tried
परिवार
to
ने भी
make India
इस पर
bleed
एक
on
शब्द
the
नहीं
strength
बोला।
of terrorism,
अप्रैल
drugs and
2017
fake
में
notes, is
अमेरिका ने
now
अल्ताफ
buried in the
खनानी को
dustbin
68
of
महीने की
history.
कड़ी सजा सुनाई
Friends,
और उस
if
पर
you liked
भारी
this
जुर्माना
video,
ठोका।
please like
साल
and share it.
2020 में
And for such
अल्ताफ
true
जेल से बाहर
stories
तो आ
that give you
गया, लेकिन
goosebumps,
आज वो
please
कहाँ है,
subscribe to
किस
our
हाल में
channel.
है, ये
जय
कोई नहीं
हिंद,
जानता।
जय भारत।
खनानी ब्रदर्स का वो साम्राज्य जिसने सालों तक आतंकवाद, नशे और जाली नोटों के दम पर भारत को